He is the biggest wind-up
I know.
on the planet. I think it was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in about 311 years. I think Scotland are more than capable of actually beating anybody, and I mean anybody in the world.
What would you do for the nation? Scoring a winner in the world. What would it do for you, Ali McCoist?
Oh, it would end me. Football rivalry is alive and well.
I know. I do think that they contribute to the problem at Manchester United.
I don't think the standard refereeing just now is good, right? But I've got to have a degree of sympathy for them.
Yeah.
Because now more than ever, we're questioning every decision.
Hello there, welcome to talkSPORT Bets, the final third. I'm back again, it's me, Ryan Scott-Douglas, and I'm pleased to say, of course, we're joined by talkSPORT Breakfast favourite. It is Ali McCoist. How are you, Ali?
I'm brilliant, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good.
In good form?
I'm in good form. I hear you were in good form this morning as well.
Great show with Jeff. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, there's plenty going on at the moment. You know, there's not a shortage of things to talk about. Obviously, the window just closing and things like that. Still talking about games at the weekend, Chelsea and West Ham and things like that.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough Sunderland, which is a great game last night as well.
Yeah.
Always plenty going on.
There's always plenty going on. Do you know what? And with the transfer window is a combination of people coming through the door and people who didn't come through the door, and the glaringly obvious misses, wasn't there? I mean, Manchester United will move on to Manchester United. Unfortunately, just gets worse and worse and worse, man. But we just bumped into Cundy as well in the green room, didn't we? The sports bar guy.
Jason Cundy, who I have to say,
go on,
maybe for the first time in a long time, has been proved right, and he's, because he did say right at the start when Chelsea were flying, and everybody, including myself,
Me too.
We're Chelsea contenders. He said no chance, absolutely no chance, and he's been proved right.
Yeah.
I think, we didn't mention it though. I think the vast majority, if not all Chelsea fans, at the start of the season would be happy with where they are in the league position right now. But I think probably because they've been there and they've come down to there a little bit, there's one or two questions get asked. But I think, no, overall, Chelsea will be happy with where they are.
I agree. They fell victim to the early high standards, didn't they? That's what
100%.
They did. But you're right, because I do the odds for the sports bar.
Yeah.
And every time I'd go on, I'd say, Chelsea's winning the league, couldn't he? How are you feeling about that? And he'd be like, give me the odds for the top four.
Yeah.
Even when they were at their height. So he had his fingers on the pulse of that one.
He's been spot on. And looking at them, I mean, defensively, they still give away some silly goals. Yeah. They've obviously got a lot of quality in their team. Yeah. Goes without saying, but top four would still be an achievement, I think. I feel.
Funny guy, Cundy.
Great lad.
You were just telling me.
He is the biggest wind-up on the planet.
I know.
I love it. Like I do the European games, and I was saying to him, I was coming back from the Rangers game in midweek when they beat the Belgians to finish in 8th place in Europa League, which was great. Yeah. And I've got the kids at the game, and I've got the boys in the back of the car, and we're listening to Cundy and O'Hara wind every potential.
What they do?
Everybody up.
Honestly.
Everybody. Yeah. Very funny.
Yeah, he is. Right, okay, we're going to move on to a slightly more egg-shaped ball.
Yes.
Because, there's two things. We've got the Super Bowl and we've got the Six Nations. Let's start with the Super Bowl. Obviously, massive, global, big in America. It's getting bigger and bigger here as well, it has to be said. Do you have a ritual usually when you watch the Super Bowl?
I'm a Rams man.
Yeah.
And I've, believe it or not, I've been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Wow. When was that? When did you go?
I went to the Super Bowl in Atlanta. I mean, how's my luck? They're playing against Brady in New England.
Right. Oh.
And I think it was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in about 311 years. But anyway, I really enjoyed the experience.
Yeah. It's a spectacle, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it was amazing. I mean, as I say, I'm a Los Angeles Rams man. And when I went to the game, I went with a few of my mates from East Kilbride, and we had a great time. But I made the point of getting into the stadium early. Sometimes at football, you maybe take things granted. But I went to the stadium early. I was in about an hour, and I watched everybody warming up. I watched the whole thing unfold in front of me. And it was just amazing. Yeah. Even things like when the quarterback's throwing in his warm-up. Yeah. When the ball's coming back to him, he doesn't catch it. He's got a guy catching it and handing it to him.
Really?
Aye, just to protect.
Prevent any injury?
Not taking any chances.
Wow.
Things like that, and then the running backs are doing their bits and pieces. I loved it. I mean, the game itself, as I said to you, my team get beaten. The game was a little bit of a disappointment. Yeah. But what an experience. Yeah. And I've got to say, my Rams were unlucky.
Yeah.
We got knocked out in the divisionals by the Eagles, who Kansas play tomorrow. And they're not without a chance. we had a chance to win that game, the last drive against Philadelphia. Didn't happen, didn't occur, but that's the way it goes. But this Kansas team will take a bit of beating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, they know how to do it. Ryan, I mean, they're going for their unprecedented third in a row, which would be an absolutely remarkable achievement. But a lot of the guys, the talkSPORT guys, Will Gavin and the boys are over there, and they're far more versed on it than I am. I enjoy it, but they're far more versed, and they kind of say the smart money would still be on Kansas. Very, very close game, but they fancy Kansas just.
Interesting. Okay, I'm going to take that on board because they know their stuff.
The disappointing thing for me is, if I'm working on a Monday morning, it's virtually impossible.
Oh, that's brutal
to watch because of the timings.
6 a.m. start.
Yeah.
But you got to be up at 5.
Yeah, you got up at 5. But I tell you, I'll certainly be taking an interest in it.
Yeah, for sure. Halftime show, Kendrick Lamar. You know who Kendrick Lamar is?
Not really.
No. Do you know what? I didn't know if I was being a bit too savage there with that question.
You're right, Kendrick. I tell you who was on when I went in Atlanta. It was Maroon 5.
Okay.
Oh yes, I know who Maroon 5 are, and they were excellent.
Yeah.
Kendrick. Listen, I'm aware who he is, of course.
Yeah. But he's going to put himself on that Ali McCoist map, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, I'll be watching. Yeah. I'll be tuned in.
He'll smash it out of the park.
I mean, as you can imagine, typical American.
Yeah.
The halftime entertainment is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. It's amazing. Taylor Swift as well.
Correct.
Yeah, they'll all be there.
Well, you know who she's going out with.
Yeah, exactly. Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're well versed.
See, I know my Taylor Swift stuff more than I know my Super Bowl stuff. That's worrying, isn't it? That is alarming. Okay, so yeah, Super Bowl. Looking forward to it. And then we move on to the slightly grittier version of the Six Nations. What are you making of it so far?
Love it.
You were there, weren't you?
I love it. I was at Murrayfield on Saturday.
Yeah.
Great game, man. Scotland's come out of traps really well.
Yeah.
19 up. And then it's amazing. You talk about with any sport, just stay in the game. Just stay in the game. An Italian fullback who's kicking was absolutely excellent. Kept him in it. Couple of penalties. Chipped away another penalty. All of a sudden it's 19-12. And then there's an intercepted pass and they're through and it's 19 each.
Yeah.
Start the second half. Scotland were a better team, then come on, scored 2 late tries and deserved to win it. So that was an important thing, winning the opening game. Wales.
Oh, Wales. I've not got my fingers on the pulse with Six Nations as much as most, but I know Wales are having a tough time, aren't they?
We spoke to a few of the guys. We'd Finn Russell on. Spoke to Finn, spoke to Will Greenwood, and even David Campese was on the show a few weeks back. And it's concerning. Nobody likes to see the kind of demise in Welsh rugby at this moment in time, but they're certainly having a struggle, and it's a tough watch. Obviously, they get a real going over, and the French with Antoine Dupont might be one of the best players in the world at this moment in time, and a lot of people fancy the French to go on and lift the championship. The two favourites would be Ireland and France.
Yeah, you've got Ireland, it bang on, yeah.
I thought the scoreline. We went to, as most punters do when they go to Murrayfield, head straight to the hostelries after it and watched the next game, which was Ireland-England. And I thought, I'm not sure that the scoreline flattered England a little bit, but it probably did with late tries, but I just thought Ireland looked pretty comfortable, and obviously it's an incredible achievement that they're going for. You spoke at the Kansas City Chief. Ireland going for three Six Nation Grand Slams in a row, and it's tournaments in a row, and I don't think it's ever been done before. And of course, Andy Farrell, not taking the job at this moment in time, he's in Lions duty, but it's a seamless flow with Ireland. Some good players.
And you've got them next, haven't you?
We play them next Sunday, and that's a game. It's a game. I'm saying it's a bigger game for us. It's not a bigger game for us because obviously it's a massive game for Ireland.
Yeah.
But if we've got any hopes of doing anything, because I said before, Ryan, I think Scotland are more than capable of actually beating anybody, and I mean anybody in the world, on their day. But it's having the strength, if you like, to go and do 4 or 5 games in a row against top teams. Ireland are certainly one of the top teams in the world, as are France.
Oof, right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to pivot back onto football. Now, transfer window, January, it threw up a few stories, a few things. Marcus Rashford was the story at the start of the transfer window. Then it kind of went quiet, and then it moved back to Marcus Rashford at the end. But he's moved to Villa. I don't know if you play FIFA or Football Manager or whatever. You play a few years, and then the craziest transfers just happen down the line. And your Football Manager file, this player goes here, and you think, I can't. It feels like that. Rashford's in a Villa shirt. It just feels a bit funny for me, especially as a Man United fan.
I get it.
But will it work?
I like it, right? And I'll tell you why I like it. From his point of view, it's a no-brainer, right? I think he just had to get away. He was stale. I think it had to suit both parties. I'm leaving. That's just my own opinion.
Yeah.
He needs a fresh challenge. He needs to liven up.
Agreed.
Perhaps buck up his own ideas as well, because the last couple of managers, for whatever reason, hasn't really seen eye to eye. Ten Hag and obviously Amorim now as well. So, but at the same time, it surprised me, Ryan. I'll tell you why. Because I honestly thought he'd have gone to Europe somewhere.
I did.
I think he probably wanted to go to Barcelona. I could have seen him in France.
We all want to go to Barcelona,
I mean. I could have seen him play in Spain, France, maybe even Italy or Germany. However, fair play to him. He's decided to go to Villa. And in many ways, it's a no-brainer, right? Because, make no mistake about it, they're in a far better place than Manchester United at this moment in time.
It's an upgrade.
Of course it is. They're a better team than Manchester United at this moment in time, with better players. You know, they're in various competitions, obviously league as well. Everything's going well for them. Excellent manager.
He can coach, a manager that can coach him, that can coach it out of him, honestly.
100%. But what he's done, they're all pluses. But what Rashford's done, in my opinion, Ryan, he's put himself under pressure.
You think?
No bad thing, I do. And it's no bad thing. Because the scrutiny on him, in my opinion, is greater at Aston Villa. This might sound crazy, but it would be than if he went somewhere in Europe. Because if somewhere in Europe, of course, we'd still be looking and saying, how's Rashford getting on, right? How's he getting on? How's this happening? But because he's playing at Villa, bang, we're watching him. We're watching every move he makes, everything. So there's pressure on him to perform. I think he will perform because, well, let's be honest, we don't want to see another Jesse Lingard. No. We don't want to see that.
No,
right?
In that respect, you have to respect the move. He's gone to an ambitious club, hasn't he?
And he's going to challenge himself.
Yeah.
And he's at a club. If he's not doing it, the manager won't play him. You can guarantee that.
Yeah.
You know, if he's not doing the business, he won't get in the team. But he's going to test himself. And I don't think he's a given to march into that team.
No, he's going to have to work for that.
Oh, yes.
It's not. I mean, he's been out of form.
You look at the players they've got, whether it's Bailey Rodgers, all these guys, Watkins, a lot of them. And
Asensio now.
Asensio obviously going there as well. So there'll be question marks. He'll have to walk into that dressing room and prove himself. He's going to have to walk into that dressing room, and no matter what MD says, he's going to walk into that dressing room, and some of the players will be like that. Okay, why did you not get your game at United? Was your attitude? What was the reasons? Because we know you're a good player.
But we also know you're out of favour.
Correct. We're now going to watch you because you're going to have to prove to everybody, teammates, coaches alike, and potentially yourself, that you can play at this level with this team.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you make of the... just a last question on Rashford. What do you make of the criticism? I've heard it. Alex Crook was one of the people that said this about him, that he doesn't feel like Birmingham is far enough from Manchester for a fresh start. Does that lead into what you said, that you thought he was going to go to Europe? But I don't know. It's quite interesting, that point.
It's just more pressure that he's going to have to handle.
Yeah.
And I get it. I know what Crookie's saying, right? But if my theory's right, right, which I think it is, that he's going to have to prove himself in a big, big manner. Doesn't matter where he stays. Doesn't matter where he is. Doesn't matter if he's close to Manchester. He's going to have to be focused.
Yeah.
There might be more going on in Manchester and things to distract him.
Yeah.
If he goes somewhere in Europe, he leaves all that behind. I get all that, right? But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter where he is. His job's still the same. And if he lets the distractions of Manchester get to him, then it's going to be that anyway. So I take Crookie's point. However, it doesn't matter where he's staying. He's got a job to do.
Oh, God, it's interesting. It make or break for Marcus Rashford. Let us know in the comments. Do you think it's a good transfer, a good move for Rashford? How do you think it's going to end up? And we have hit the second third of the show. So usually it's Ryan versus Ali. We play a little game, it's competitive, but we've got a different spin on it. So it is still a game, but it's a would you rather, Ali. So we've been sent some rather juicy questions, football related.
Yes.
So you don't have to, I sort of panic behind your eyes.
That's a relief.
So they're all football related.
Because at my age, it's not would I rather, it's would I do anything, never mind would I rather.
Could you?
But anyway, not would you, could you? Are you able to?
We'll do that next week.
Very good.
We'll do that next week. Right, we've got it here. I'm looking at the first question here. Some of these are really good, really juicy. So let's get straight into it.
Right.
It says here, for Ali.
Yes.
So would you rather score a last-minute winner in a World Cup final for Scotland or manage Rangers to an unbeaten season, winning every competition?
Does that include the Champions League?
Yes.
Last minute one. I've got to say.
Last minute winner, World Cup final for Scotland.
Both of them are as hypothetical as you can get. Right. Last minute winner in the World Cup for Scotland.
Yeah. Is it? So basically what I'm asking you to do is...
I've got to take the Rangers one.
Be selfish in a way.
Yeah.
You take all the glory. Or for the greater good of your beloved Rangers.
I've got to take the Rangers one.
Really?
Although you're giving the Scottish fans some...
The whole of Scotland. Can you imagine the morning after, the party, the nights? What would you do for the nation? Scoring a winner in the world. What would it do for you, Ali McCoist?
Oh, it would end me. Never mind be good for me.
Actually,
that would end me. That would finish me.
Yeah.
Right. The thought of it's disturbing me. Winning the World Cup final, oh dear me. Or manage Rangers. Win every game.
Yeah.
Every
you go
tournament.
unbeaten.
That wins it.
Yeah. That tip it over the edge, your unbeaten bit?
Yeah, unbeaten bit.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, what two great scenarios.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that one, I must say. Right, let's move you on. This one says, for me, would you rather play for Manchester United for your entire career? I never had a career, so this is interesting. But and never win a trophy. Oh, play for Man United and never win a trophy, or play for Manchester City and win everything. And it's going to ask, oh, jeez. I must say, playing for Manchester United and winning nothing. I have to say that. I can't play for Manchester City. Honestly, I've got this thing. In my, I will never put on a Manchester City shirt, not for nothing, for no bets, honestly nothing. And same with Liverpool as well. So I can't even picture that. I don't want no photoshops or anything. I know what you guys are like as well. I don't want to see that. And it's asked me to ask you the reverse. So play for Rangers and win nothing, or play for Celtic and win everything. But
Tell me you.
Yeah, I'm saying
Rangers and nothing. Yeah. Exactly, Rangers and nothing.
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I could
mind you, we did answer it kind of quickly.
Yeah. I think I could have answered that for you. Next one here. Wow. Would you rather have played alongside Pele in the 1970 World Cup or Messi in the 2022 World Cup? Gosh. And that's to both of us. So, but I'm more interested in hearing your answer.
I was at that World Cup final.
Yes.
And it was madness.
Incredible, wasn't it?
Madness.
What a game.
I've got to say, I think the vast majority of nations and people that weren't involved in it or didn't have a, horse in the race, so to speak, were delighted for the wee man to win that World Cup.
Yeah.
However, that 1970 Brazil team was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tosteo, Revellino, Cerzino, Carlos Alberto, Pele. That's the team I'm playing for.
Now we're talking.
Team.
I tell you what, you raise a good point.
Oh, what a team!
You spoke about that team before, actually thinking about it.
Oh, what a team!
Yeah.
What a team!
Yeah. So is that who you're picking, Pele?
That's my first kind of. Honestly, that's my first memory, really, as a young boy coming through. What would I be? 7 years of age. Thankfully, when England won it, I couldn't remember. I was 3 or something, right? But when that Brazil team won it, I think it might have been the first tournament in colour.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? And I actually remember England, watching England get knocked out. They were 2-0 up. And my dad's sitting watching it. I remember my dad saying to me, they're taking off Bobby Charlton, right? And I was a wee boy and I said, as if, what's happened here?
Yeah.
And I think Sir Alf Ramsey took off Bobby Charlton and Germany came back and beat them 3-2. I remember Muller scoring one over his... I can remember this as a wee boy. And then I can remember the final. I remember England versus Brazil, Banks's save. Jorginho goes down the left.
Was that the save?
Oh, that was a save.
The save, wow.
That was a save. Jorginho goes down. Was it Terry Cooper was the left back? Can't remember. Anyway, crosses it. Perry comes into the back post, bang. Banks, what a save. What a save.
Incredible.
David Coleman doing the commentary. I ended up doing Question of Sport with David Coleman.
Wow.
Fantastic. Then I remember the final, that Brazil side. They beat a great Italian team with Rivera and Luigi Riva and all them.
Yeah.
And they beat them, I think, 4-1. And I can still remember Pelle's header opening the goal. But the one they all talk about was Carlos Alberto's strike, where I think Jorginho just rolls him on. And I know he even sounds a good player, doesn't he?
I know.
He even sounds a good player.
I know.
And he come in, and if you watch it, it just bobbles as he goes to hit it. It actually bobbles for him perfectly, and he smashes this thing at the bottom corner.
Wow.
What a goal!
I tell you what.
Mind that the Argentina team were excellent winning it.
I don't think we can even talk about Argentina now after you've hammed up Brazil like that, honestly.
I've nailed my colours to the mast.
Yeah, because I'm going to have to... How can I disagree? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't alive for that.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate the quality. And Messi, in my opinion, carried that team a little bit.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go for Pele as well.
Yeah.
Not that my answer is as valid as yours. We talk about aura, that Brazil side, incredible. Right then, next one. Height of your career: score a goal for your biggest rivals to win them the Champions League, or never score again. Score a goal for your biggest rivals to win them the Champions League, or never score again. Wow.
Oh, so never score again.
Really? Yeah.
And you're ashamed, don't kid me.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm picturing Liverpool. Albeit our biggest rivals at the moment are Everton.
I was going to say.
I'm picturing Liverpool. I'd just never score.
But do you know what this second part of this show is telling us?
Go on.
That football rivalry is alive and well.
I know, it's so true, isn't it? Because you talk about, do you do fantasy football?
I don't know, but my sons do.
You should get on it, because there's a good debate about whether it's ruining the rivalries, because you have Salah in his side, and when he scores for Liverpool, you go, oh, but I've got Salah in my team.
Well, that's it. The wee man said to me at the weekend, they're all shouting, Isaac scored, and Jimenez scored, and there's a shout goes up, great,
Exactly. But you're right, football rivalry is alive and well. Yeah. That's what this is telling us. Here's a really good one, Ali. Really good one. Would you rather be tackled? Would you rather be tackled by Roy Keane or Graham Souness? Who do you not want to get tackled by out of those two? Let's say you've been winding them up all game and they come steaming into a challenge. Who do you not want to receive that challenge from? Because I'm a Man United fan.
Souness.
And I'm going to go Souness. I don't want to tackle from Souness.
No, I played with Graham. See, I didn't play with Roy. Obviously, Roy, different class, terrific footballer. I didn't play with Roy, watched him from afar. But I played with Graham. And I saw Graham in training.
Oh, my.
And I saw Graham in games. What a footballer.
Yeah.
They were both great footballers. Graham was an unbelievable player.
You rate Graham high. We did the how much would they be worth, and you said Graham Souness would be a £100 million man.
Graham was a fantastic... I told you, I've never played a game or watched a player, that could just change a game and knew what a game needed.
Yeah.
Whether it was a shot, a tackle, a foul, or whatever, slow the game down, speed it up, everything.
But you wouldn't want to tackle off him.
No.
Yeah.
I tell you what I really wouldn't like. I really wouldn't like an unfair tackle off.
Exactly, yeah. And that's where my mind's going. I've seen some of them Souness challenges, by the way. I mean, we're talking above knees back in them days, honestly. And if we're talking about the time period, you'd probably get away with it.
He's won against Steaua Bucharest.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I got showed it yesterday, actually. Oh, my gosh.
I'm the first guy that comes up, and for some reason I try to defend him after the tackle. And I watched it after, I went, holy guacamole.
You got to, though. You got to. So are we agreeing Souness? We don't want to tackle from him. Right then. Last one. Would you rather be the coach of a small, passionate underdog team that upsets the Giants, or the manager of a rich, star-studded team that's expected to win every match? That's a good question.
That's a good question. See, I like the wording in the first team, though. Give me the wording.
The wording was, be the coach of a small, passionate underdog team that upsets the giants.
See, I like the word passionate.
Yeah, me too.
You threw the word passionate in there. I mean, we had Holly on this morning, Ian Holloway.
Yeah.
Brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Just passion. Loves football.
Them team talks hit different when you're a manager as well.
On, yeah. Yeah. So I'm going for the passionate.
Going passionate.
Underdog.
I do like the passionate, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm that guy. I'm that guy that just wants all the stars. I want all the riches. I want all the expectation. So I'm gonna go for the Man City.
At least
I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
And people aren't gonna like that, but I've got to be honest. I like to have the money.
Fair enough.
So go and get me Messi, and don't talk to me until the deal's done.
Till he's in the door.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Right.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Thank you.
Fun.
And here we are. We have arrived at the final third of the show, which is, of course, the great debate. And I tell you something, sent this question yesterday. It is such a good conversation, maybe not being spoken about enough. So really, really happy to have Ali here, actually, to hash it out and talk about it.
Great question.
It is. So the question is, are ex-football players that are turned pundits, are they adding unnecessary pressure to the clubs that they used to play for? Are they being overly critical? Yeah. Does it add pressure? So I'll kick us off with my perspective as a Manchester United fan. I'll add the caveat right now. I'll lay the gauntlet down. I love Gary Neville. I love Roy Keane, Paul Scholes. That just, what a time period that was for me. Happiest years of my footballing life as a fan. But I must say, and it's taken maybe a few years longer than, because, you pick rose-tinted glasses and all that. I do think that they contribute to the problem at Manchester United. I do. And there's a lot of problems at Manchester United. We can talk about the hierarchy, and we know all that. I'm not going to go over it. But just specifically about your Gary Neville. So he has a podcast straight after he has a little debrief after the Man United game, where he gets stuck into the players, starts talking about how the boss used to be and the good old days, etc., etc. And look, it's nice to hear, but I do feel like that, more than anything else, filters down to the players and adds unnecessary and unwanted pressure. You've got Wayne Rooney, who revealed recently, I told Rashford a few years ago we should leave. And that comment, in my mind, I just thought, wow, imagine, and look, I get you have to be frank with these players sometimes. There's pros and cons with it. But what must that have done to Marcus Rashford to hear that from the club's all-time top goal scorer? So I don't know where you sit with it, because you are Mr. Rangers, and
it's a brilliant topic. The one thing, and I know the punters out there tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong, I don't think when I'm doing Rangers games, for example, that I say back in our day this would have happened, or Gascoigne, or Laudrup, or Durant, because you can't do it. It's completely different eras, completely different teams.
Yeah.
Where I might level a bit of criticism against myself, maybe I am slightly more critical on some of the players because I watch Rangers more. I probably know what's expected. And if they underachieve, I probably am vocal in my opinions. That said, that's my job.
Yeah.
I honestly do my utmost to be fair in my opinions, right? Because the other day I'm thinking, the boy you get man for Rangers against the Belgians, he's been excellent.
Yeah.
He's been excellent for us. But he wasn't good on Thursday night. So I can't butter it up, right? But I'm saying to myself after, am I too harsh on him?
So that's really interesting. Do you run those questions in your mind afterwards? Do you think, right, have I gone in a bit too hard there? Or?
Yeah, I think sometimes I'm harder with forwards.
Oh, that is so interesting.
Because I try to be as objective as I can, but I think sometimes I'm harder on forwards than I am perhaps midfield or defenders. And maybe that's because I think, rightly or wrongly, I know more about that position than I do.
Rightly.
I'm comfortable talking about it. Of course I am. It's a game we all love and we all know about the game. But pressure on players is greater than it's ever been for a number of reasons. You know, at the top level. Because the punters now, they get paid so much money, that's got to come into it.
Yeah.
So they're under so much scrutiny on and off the pitch, whether we like it or not, that's the way it goes. The game's different than now what it was. That's 1970 team, Brazil team. There's maybe 4 cameras at the game watching the game. You go to a game on Saturday, Man United boys.
Yeah.
And I know, we're part of it. There's cameras everywhere, covering every tackle, every throw.
We're talking as well.
Of course.
Inches, yeah.
So there is so much more scrutiny on, well, a perfect example is referees. I don't think the standard refereeing just now is good, right? But I've got to say I have a degree of sympathy for them.
Yeah.
Because now more than ever, we're questioning every decision. It's not just offsides and balls over the line. We're questioning yellow cards, sending offs, tackles, everything.
It's tough,
So the referee and the officials are under more pressure, as are the players.
Yeah.
Because we're scrutinising everything at half time and at the end of the game, well, he should have done this, should have done that.
Yeah.
But the original question is, are ex-footballers, you know,
adding unwanted
pressure? I think they probably are. But it goes with the territory.
No, that's so.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Because if I'm a Man United fan, Ryan, I want to hear what Roy Keane's got to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
I want to hear what Gareth. If I'm a Liverpool fan, I want to hear what Stevie McManaman's got to say.
Yeah. 100%.
Chelsea, I'm dying to know what Jason Cundy thinks about it.
Yeah.
Because Jason Cundy's opinion on Chelsea is coming from there and there.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm so conflicted with this question because, look, don't get me wrong, and this is to level it out. I don't know what side of the fence I'm on, to be honest. But, you know, sometimes I look forward to hearing the former United players. You know, if something's been particularly bad or if there's been particularly like bad defending, I want to hear what Rio has to say. Do you know what I mean? You know, if there's not enough grittiness in the midfield, I want to hear what Keane has to say. So look, I do understand that, but like say for Man United, for example, it's constant and it's like it's almost, you know,
I know
it's relentless.
Ryan, we get so many texts coming and saying, "No, United again, United, give us a break."
Yeah,
but United have to accept
they're poor,
and they're one of the biggest clubs in the world. So that's why it's a focus. That's why everybody wants to talk about them. Probably more than most.
Yeah.
That goes to the territory.
Yeah.
But getting back to the original point, if an ex-player has been critical of his team and his team's players, as long as it's constructive and objective, that's what it's all about.
100%.
I mean, if a ball comes across and, well, it's Cyril Dessers at Rangers misses a chance, if I go, okay, that's terrible, that's not good enough, that's not helping anybody.
No.
But if I say, well, he's got to score there, and I'll tell you why he missed it, what he should have done, that's different.
Yeah.
You know, it came up quick, he couldn't get it down, he should have kept it down, he should have taken it away. Give them a reason or an explanation why you think it's not good enough.
Yeah, 100%. No, you're right with it. A question for you personally, are you aware, you know, if or, you know, when you do say things about Rangers, in fact, case in point, Rangers haven't been fantastic this season.
Of course they've not.
But it's in the league.
Yeah.
But I've not heard you bash them. Do you know, I've heard you be critical when you've needed to be.
Of course.
I've heard you have your fan cap on when you want them to get a result.
Absolutely.
But I've not heard you like berate them. Do you know what I mean?
Right. It's so important. Right. When I'm doing my job, I have to be objective. Right. Listen, if Rangers are playing Celtic, anybody with any common sense will know that I'm wanting Rangers to win.
Yeah.
The same as Neil Lennon would want Celtic to win.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't give an honest opinion and a judgment call on what you see. That's the difference.
Yeah, for sure.
I said to you before, I used to think I did okay in the commentaries on Rangers Celtic games if I get stick off both sets of supporters.
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds, you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, good measuring stick. I've said 100%.
Because it's so important you have a balanced opinion.
Yeah.
And I genuinely try my utmost to do that. And I love doing the Rangers games in Europe. But if they don't play well, somebody makes a mistake or something goes wrong, you've got to, if the other team do something really, you've got to call it.
Yeah,
You have to call it.
Wow. Honestly, I'm so glad that we had this question because that's fascinating.
It is.
And we've come to the end of the conversation, and genuinely, I can see why it happens.
Yeah.
But I can also see how it can be detrimental to footballers.
Yeah.
But then you go back to there's more pressure than ever on footballers to deal with it. It's such a. I would encourage everyone to comment below and let us know.
I'd be interested to see the comments on it. I really would.
Definitely. And you know what? There's no better person to have had that discussion with.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, you are Mr. Rangers, so you know. That was fascinating. Guys, let us know exactly what you think. Are you looking forward to the Super Bowl? What do you think about that debate? The Would You Rathers, put your answers down there as well. But this has been the final third. I've been Ryan Scott-Douglas. He's been Ali McCoist. Thank you very much, and until next time.